Swadikap, good afternoon once again. Thank you to Dr. Apisamai for the Thai language briefing. A couple of important issues. Of course, we have the daily CCSA meeting. We had that this morning as well for today, Friday, the 15th of October, 2021. One of the issues in which the English language community or foreign nationals may be interested in is about the list of countries that we'll be releasing soon, list of countries that will not require quarantine as announced by the Prime Minister the other day, yesterday. Now, just to let you know that it is in the works. It is undergoing the internal process. We have a list already and it's undergoing the internal process. It will be released sometime next week, midweek next week, and it will definitely include more than 10 or more than 12 countries, a lot more than that number of countries. So in one big bulk that will be released. So please stay tuned for that. Dr. Apisamai also talked about the Thailand Pass, which I mentioned in the English language briefing yesterday. It will soon, on the 1st of November, take place the COE, or the Certificate of Entry. It will be simpler, less documents, and of course we will have more details on this come Monday. It will be effective on the 1st of November. Also, the issue about the various precautions that we have for this month and this week in particular is, of course, we are in the Kathin season, the religious ceremony Kathin or Kathina season. We're in the CDC of each province, the Communicable Disease Control Committee of each province, have been warning the various sectors across the country in that various gatherings, be it religious gatherings or other social gatherings, have to take very high precautions, especially during this Kathin season, to be very cautious of the spread of COVID-19. So let's start off today with the update on the number of vaccines according to our national vaccination plan. Yesterday alone, we inoculated over 1 million doses. As I mentioned earlier, the capacity to inoculate vaccines in Thailand is quite high. In the past days, you may have seen in the high 100,000s, 6, 7, 8, or even 900,000. Today we have 1,034,549 doses of vaccine recorded as being administered yesterday. The accumulated number of doses in Thailand have increased to now 63.6 million doses. This vaccination rate includes everyone residing in Thailand, including foreign nationals, of course, who can register for vaccination through various schemes, including the expatvac.consular.go.th and other platforms. If you recall, yesterday I gave you some numbers, statistics of those who have registered in the Expat Vac scheme, as well as the general picture. The government will vigorously continue to inoculate and meet the national vaccination goal of having 50% of the population vaccinated in every province by the end of this month, October. So 50% in every province in this month, within this month, as well as the new target to administer the first jab to at least 80% of the population and the second jab for at least 70% of the population by the end of December 2021. Just some observations from the data that was shown just now in the Thai language version about the situation in Thailand, that after we were on a downward trend for a while, the infection rate has begun to become more steadier, with 70% of the infections found in maximum controlled and strict zones, or what we call the dark red zones. Provinces with new clusters of new infections include provinces like Songkhla, Narathiwat, Yala, Pattani in the south, Tak, Ratburi, Rayong, Chantaburi, Nakhon Ratchasima, Nakhon Si Thammarat, and Chiang Mai. These new clusters have been found within communities from social gatherings and cultural activities, as I mentioned, religious activities just now, as well as in factories, workplaces, campsites, and markets. For the general situation, we have a slide coming up shortly for you. We recorded yesterday 10,486 new cases. So over 10,000 new cases as compared to the new recoveries at 10,711 new recoveries. The current cases, active cases still being treated in Thailand is 107,606, as you see on the little green box on top there on screen right now. We have recorded, unfortunately, today 94 fatalities. The fatality rate remains at 1.04%. For the adjustment of measures, just to reiterate what I mentioned yesterday on some key adjustments made at the CCSA General Meeting, in line with the plan to live with the new normal. So today we made some adjustments to this chart. You notice that when I mentioned yesterday that more provinces have been put into the basket of the orange zone, which is the column on the bottom, which is the controlled area. So more provinces have been put in that basket, meaning that the situation in those provinces have become more stable. Previously, they were in the dark red zone or red zone, now going down to the orange zone. So all in all, 30 provinces remain in the maximum controlled zone and 24 in the controlled zone, as you see on screen. The curfew time for the dark red zone adjusted to become 2300 to 0300 hours, or 11 p.m. until 3 a.m. Previously, it was longer than this, as you recall. It was 9 and 10 p.m. Now it's 11 p.m. As a starting time for the curfew. And opening hours for businesses, such as convenience stores, cinemas, restaurants, now adjusted to the operational hours to close at 10 p.m. or 2200 hours instead of 9 p.m. And meetings, traditional festivals, cultural activities in exhibition halls, conference centers, and similar types of establishments can now be held. Just an update on students in terms of the vaccination, that the Department of Disease Control, or DDC, provided an update on the National Inoculation Campaign, particularly on the progress of vaccine rollout for students aged 12 to 18 years old. As of yesterday, which is the 14th of October, the DDC administered over 490,000 doses of Pfizer vaccines out to the 4 million registered students. And as there is quite some misleading information about the side effects after getting Pfizer jabs, particularly on boys, I'd like to highlight that so far there has not been any report on the adverse effects following the vaccination from the early warning systems that we have in place. However, concerned authorities are taking the health of our children at the utmost priority. I will keep you updated on this issue should there be any developments. And in the meantime, we'd like to urge you all, the audience, English language audience or Thai language audience, of course, not to believe in the misleading information, fake news, a lot of fake news circulating on social media. But of course, find information, verify the information from official sources. So just in closing, as many of you might feel a sense of uplifting from the recent announcement on reopening measures, please don't forget that the pandemic, of course, is still not over yet, obviously. And we still have to remain cautious, to live our lives under the new normal. So when going out, don't forget to continue to wear your masks, regularly sanitize your hands, maintain social distancing, and only remove your masks when eating or drinking. If you notice here in the studio at the CCSA, we continue to wear masks on air. Also, it is still necessary to avoid closed spaces, crowded places, and of course, close contact settings while we develop the COVID-free setting. And with all of these measures, we're confident that the situation can continue to be controlled. So please, with that note, please stay safe. I hope you have a very good and safe weekend, and we'll see you again on Monday. สวัสดีครับ